All right, here we go. This is just what it is. Uh, Legit snowy out here, but we got a ride. What it do? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or, since we're in the season, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, or Joyous Kwanzaa. Hope you're doing fantastic whenever or wherever you're tuning in from. It's been quite the week, both with training and everything else, and had a really positive week of training last week. And so far this week, we're grooving right into it as well, and things are starting to fall into place. Now it's very early, and we actually still need to fill out the calendar with a couple of B and C races. But as far as how I'm feeling towards the A race, which is the Ironman Eagleman in Maryland, I'm feeling strangely good. Mostly because, unbeknownst to me, I did a swim yesterday, and it was scheduled to be 2,400 yards, and I thought nothing of it. I just look at some of those numbers. I've told my coach that let's not adjust those. We'll call them aspirations that I can grow into. I went out and it was supposed to be an hour swim. I went a little longer. It took me an hour 5 to do 2,200 yards, not realizing that translates to about 1.25 miles, which coincidentally is the distance I'm going to need to swim for the half Ironman. So knowing that I am capable of covering the distance goes a real long way, and we still have so much time to refine the process. Not only that, I'm capable of going the distance in a pool with no salt assistance, no wetsuit, and I didn't die. So it was a tough workout, but a manageable workout, which is the same I can say about the track work I had to do later that day, which, again, very surprised that I'm starting to get some of that pop back. There were some good recoveries in there too, but it was a super session that started to really make me feel like myself again, if that makes sense, and up the confidence level and really have me looking forward to the next one and the next one and the next one. Speaking of looking forward, I got a little bit of tough news. Stuff like this happens. I had my road bike in the shop for a bottom bracket service, and the bike is fine, by the way. The tough news is that my main man, Forrest, my mechanic, has left the shop. His partner got an offer, and they packed up and moved to Washington State. I'm gonna miss you, dude. And the new tech who was working on my bike, it's like when you switch your barber, right? Like, a guy that knows exactly what you want for what occasion and how you want it like this and never to exceed that. And now we've got to learn all that all over again. It's going to take some time to build that relationship. But, we had such a good groove, and especially knowing that I've got more ambitious goals now, to have known that somebody who's been along with me thus far can help me make those small tweaks instead of now let's go over the whole history of why my brake bias is like this and why I chose this gear ratio and why, just all these other things. All right, we're just wrapping up the morning group ride with the team. Went real well. I'll be honest though, after the warm-up, I was fussing around with my bottle and my equipment, and you can see that I got half a star on that first set, and that's kind of bugging me a little bit. I like to check off all the boxes, get all the stars, but that's maybe a little too type A of me. But shout out to the Here and Now crew. Finish this cool down and shovel that walkway, because there's snow on the ground. We'll get to that. Work's never done. and do a little strength training midday. Let's keep it rolling. I did finally get out to Plant Pub. My teammate Pat got his, we were talking about this awesome concept he was working on, and he planned on opening it the year prior. Spoiler, pandemic put a wrench in that. But this past summer, he finally got the restaurant open, and then moving into September was approved for actual dining and not just takeout. And I gotta tell you, the spot is fantastic. I love the spot, love that it's happening, and I hate that it took me this long to even get out over there. But you better believe this is a repeat customer, not just because Pat's my buddy and I like the guy, but because it is actually delicious food and a concept that I really wish existed a lot sooner. The cliff notes are, it's pub food, but it's plant-based. Right now, if you wanted to go out with your people and go to a bar, if you're a vegetarian, vegan, your options are very limited, or chances are you have to eat before you get there because there's not much on the menu that you can have. Well, let's flip that and say you, as a carnivore, can eat anything. So we're just gonna have delicious food and still have the brews on tap, still have the games on the screens, and give you an environment that is welcoming to all. I personally love it. We'll leave some links to their sites and details in the description. So if you're curious or ever in the Boston area, I'm taking everybody, by the way. Spoiler, if you're here, I'm taking you to Plant Pub. That's where we're eating. I am that dude that will 100% suggest a place to go out, get there, only to realize I've forgotten my wallet. This happens so freaking much. I'm sorry, bro. So that's where we are right now. Holidays are chugging along. Got all the cards mailed out, and hopefully they're reaching their destinations safely and securely. Unfortunately, some of the international cards and gifts are going to be held up. Apologies, but you know what it is. But that's all for today. I hope you are doing well with your holiday. Let me know in the comments, what you celebrate, what your plans are. And if you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for hanging out. I truly appreciate it. That's the best gift you can give to me, just your support, your camaraderie, and growing this community. Thanks so much for hanging out. And as always, it's been real.